Okay, I go to the Cookaido app and then I write what I want to search for. So I'm going to put tomato soup. Okay, so now it's going to show you everything that's tomato soup or relevant to tomato soup. But I'm going to choose the first one, which is creamy tomato soup. Now I'm going to click cook today, and then it's going to send it automatically to the Thermomix. So then I go to the Thermomix and I put my week, and then there is going to show me everything that I've chosen for my week. But right now I only have the tomato soup, so I'm going to click it. Okay, I put start cooking, and then it says to add 1 garlic clove. I add it, then I put next, and then it says to add the yellow onions, so I add it. Then it tells me to add the lid, next, and then I twirl it, and it's going to 5, which is going to chop it. It's going to chop it. And then, when it's done chopping, it tells me to scrape everything down. And then it puts next. And then it tells me to add butter. Most recipes are going to ask for butter or oil. I usually use avocado oil because I think it's healthier. But for this one, I like to add butter because I like it for the soup. Okay, so every recipe is step by step. That's the next button. So every time you do something, you go put the next button. So now it says to add the lid with the measuring cup. That little thing is called the measuring cup. Okay, then you twirl the button. It's going to automatically go to 1 and to saute. It's going to saute the onions and the garlic. So as you can see, all I've dirty is a cutting board because I didn't need to use a pan to saute onions. I didn't need to use a pot to boil the soup. I didn't have to use a blender to liquefy the soup, nothing. It all does it in the Thermomix. So now the onions and the garlic are sauteed, and then it says to add the tomatoes in halves. You can have them in halves or in fourths, whatever you want. But I'm going to add them in halves. And then you can see on the left of the screen, it's going to weigh everything. That's where it weighs it. Right now, it's at 6, and you have to go all the way until 24 ounces. So when you start weighing it, and there, I added all the tomatoes. Okay, then I put next, and then it says to add the tomato paste. So there I go, I add the tomato paste, and then I put next, and then it says to add salt. I add pink salt because that's the one I usually have in my house. Okay, then it says to add a teaspoon of sugar. I usually use the raw sugar because that's the one I have in my house also. Then I put next, and then it says to add the dried oregano. So I add the dried oregano, and then I put next, and then it says to put the lid with the measuring cup. And then I put next. Okay, then you twirl the button, and it's going to automatically chop it for 5 seconds. You wait until it chops, and then you open the lid. And there it is. All the tomatoes and the garlic and the onions all chopped and mixed together. Then it says to add 17 ounces of water. Okay, then it says to add stock cube or stock paste. I buy this one in Costco, but the Thermomix has a recipe for a stock paste that you can make. So I add it, and then I put next, and then it says to put the lid again with the measuring cup. Then you put next, and then it twirls to 2. Those are the 3 circles that every recipe has. The one on the left is the time, the one in the middle is the temperature, and the one on the right is the speed of the blade. Right now it's at 2 because it's just cooking it. Every time it goes to those steps, it automatically sets all those numbers for you. You don't have to change it at all. Okay, so then it's going to do this for 15 minutes. You can just go do whatever you want meanwhile. Okay, so now it's cooked. You open the lid, and there is the tomatoes cooked. And then it says to add cream because it's a creamy tomato soup. So I'm adding heavy whipping cream. Okay, then I put next. And then it says to add fresh basil leaves. I don't have fresh basil leaves today, so I'm just going to add dried basil leaves. These recipes always tell you to add the best ingredients, but sometimes you don't have everything, so you can just use what you have. And then you put next, and then it says to add fresh parsley, which I also don't have fresh parsley, so I'm going to add dried parsley. and then you put next, and then it says to add the lid with the mixing cup again. So then you put next, and then you twirl it until it goes to 4. This recipe, which is not like any other, says to gradually increase to 8. I think it's because like the soup is so hot, it doesn't want it to go automatically to 8 that fast. So it goes, you have to go gradually until 8. The speed of the blade can go all the way to 10. 10, you can make peanut butter to peanuts or pulverize something and make it a flour or even grate Parmesan cheese. Okay, so it reached 8 and now it's ready. There is a super delicious creamy tomato soup. If you want to order your ingredients online, you go to add, you press add to shopping list, and then when it goes to your shopping cart, it shows you all the ingredients of that recipe. You can add other ingredients from other recipes too. Then you put order ingredients, and then it takes you here where you can choose your favorite store.